crying there?
No, I'm not. I have been emotional throughout the season, but I think the last images of Zach and I walking off with our kids, with our wives there, not far behind, was a really fitting way to end, because I'm sure we'll touch on it. But it's so. Well, I speak on behalf of myself. I'm so ready to move into the next chapter of my life and give back to what my family has given me. So, it's really special. We've both been really fortunate to have children along our journey in the AFL system, and to be able to share them with it's really special. So,
I think it's really hard to put into words when you see the vision like that, just how remarkable both of your careers have been.
One is a fair bit more remarkable than the other, but I was slightly nervous when they started reading out Hawk's CV, and then that was building into mine. That was a tense couple of seconds. It's been long. I'll give it that. It's been longer than I expected, and a great deal of that has been because of where I ended up, and we'll touch on it in a second, I'm sure, but it's a different club. It's a weird club. It's not...
Weird is good.
Weird is very good. I think, there's a lot of ways in which we're very lucky to play for the club. And before I came here, I was fully aware of Geelong's reputation before I came to the club. It was the big luring aspect for me, and a big driver for me was winning a flag, and there's no guarantees you can win one going anywhere, but I was pretty confident that if I ended up here, I would at the very least be playing for a club and have coaches and, everybody above them who would be totally invested in going in, all in, every year. And it doesn't guarantee anything. It actually... It ironically increases the likelihood of devastation at the end of every year because they're so hard to win. But I'm just glad I got to play for a club that gives its players a chance, because that's all I ever wanted, was a chance.
And I think how loved you are by the club is testament to that. And Tom, what is it about Geelong that makes it so special?
Yeah, well, apart from the man sitting to my right, I think, as Zach says, the football club puts us in a position, and it's not just one or two people within the organisation. It takes everyone to contribute in some facet to be able to make us be able to compete. But I think that's what I've loved the most, and I've had periods throughout my career where I've had doubts on whether football was the right career path for me and whether it was going to be the journey it has. But it's through those people that making a successful environment that have allowed me to really flourish. So there's lots of different reasons. It's the location that we live in, that me and my family have loved. But I think for me it's ultimately the people that make it great.
And on the people, I wanted to sort of begin by asking you both to tell us all something about the other that we perhaps don't know. So I might start with you, Tom. What's it been like playing alongside Zach for such a long time?
Well, I remember playing against Zach when he was at Carlton. We played at, I think then, Telstra Dome. And I'm not sure if I've shared this with him, but we exchanged words, and I won't repeat those words, but ironically we've become teammates and shared some pretty special moments. But I think that the thing that, and it's been mentioned tonight already, but from my experience personally, is the joy that he brings to other people. So that's the supporters that follow our great club. That's those people internally that he has an impact on, and just allows them to be themselves and enjoy that. I think that's what I love, beyond the great person and great family man and wonderful player that he's been, is how much he enjoys it. Because, like Zach, I try and bring that a little bit myself at times as well. So I've always admired his ability through the tough times to really enjoy himself.
there's a lot. Coming to the club, there's a handful of players whose reputation across the league is kind of undisputed, and it was pretty clear to me that when I came here, I was going to get to see up close one of, the all-time greats. And I know I don't need to convince anybody in this room, but it is one of those that, however good you think Hawk is, I can tell you he's a lot better. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Beautiful.
I appreciated from afar just what I was about to get to witness up close. And I've made this point about a couple of players I've had the privilege of playing with over my career. But when I'm in the stands in 40 or 50 years, and I'm taking my two boys who we saw, and they've got their kids, I'll still be telling them that I got to play with Tom Hawkins. This is a generational level player we get to see. So, yeah.
It is an emotional evening. Now, I guess I'm about to ask you to pick your favourite children, but we've got your three flags behind us here. Is there one perhaps that stands out more than the others?
No, not really. It's I just count myself so fortunate. There's probably one up in 2007 that I didn't play. I played in the VFL Premiership side in 2011 with a couple of people in the room, but that was my first experience of Grand Final Day, and I'll never forget that experience that I had with senior players at the time, and how much I learnt throughout my first year of football at AFL level. So it's not here, but winning the premiership with the VFL in 2007 was amazing. I think 2022 was significant in a way that, like I touched on with my first few years in the system I came in, and was surrounded by wonderful players that almost had laid a platform for players like, Joel obviously came in and did what he did, but players that came into the system at the same time as me. And I sort of rode, my opinion of this is that I rode the coattails of them and contributed, albeit very minor parts, but then to be able to experience it as a more senior player with some of our younger generation was really special. So it's hard to pick, but I'm gonna go top and bottom. 07 VFL Premiership and maybe 22.
I love that. And round of applause for Tom. And we saw that really special moment for you draped in the Irish flag. I'm going to get on to the Irish thing in just a moment, but I want you to take me through, finishing, you had your 250th game, you had your flag. I mean, what a wonderful story, and so few players get to experience a moment like that.
Yeah, it was special. It was nice for the day to be all about me. I think when we look back on the 22 flag, we should think of Big Reg.
Yeah.
It was... it's been an overwhelming motivation in the back half of my career to win one, and I know I've spoken to Danger about this in the past. Oh, he's sitting. But before we'd won one, it had almost become a slightly unhealthy obsession, and I know we've spoken as a leadership group in years gone by about how it is kind of possible to want things a little bit too much, and it can almost have a negative impact on you. And when I think about that day, there's lots of memories spring to mind, but the biggest one was with about a minute to go, all the coaches and everybody was on the interchange, and obviously by that stage of the game, the result was beyond doubt. I think it's fair to say.
I think so. Yes.
But the realization hit me when I saw everybody on the interchange kind of hugging and embracing, and I just remember thinking about the 2020 grand final and the 2021 prelim, which is easily the worst loss of my career, to then only 12 months later be stood at the G waiting for the siren to go was kind of, weird and extremely emotional. But when I sort of glance back at that day, my mind is kind of pushed back further to some of the losses we've had, and I'm just grateful that I play for a club and I have coaches led by Scotty who would continually put their agates on the line, because based off what we dished up in the 21 prelim, it would have been very easy to say now's a good time to push out some of the old boys, but he just refuses to do it. And yeah, that 2022 siren is still ringing in my head.
Oh, amazing. Now, I always think when you do an interview, it's best to get the goss from the source. So I've called both your wives today, and this is going to be the best part because I've got all the tea. So I asked your partners to tell me some things that we might not know about you. And I'm going to start with, don't be worried, I'm going to start with you, Tom. And Em says that before your first grand final, apparently you can sleep anywhere. This is correct. And she said you kept sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And so she's trying to ring around the players to say, should we wake him up? Should we wake him up? And apparently she let you sleep a bit too long. And I think it was Joel Selwood that you called who said, just get him out of bed. And so you were basically late to that grand final.
Yeah, well, that is true. And sleep is important. And I didn't have any kids at that stage, believe it or not, so I don't know why I was sleeping. But yeah, that is true.
What's your secret to sleeping anywhere?
Hard work. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just like all good things, good genetics, maybe.
She also told me about before the game once, and this one's a little bit unusual. So you once had to go, don't look at her like that. You once had to go out to the paddock and actually help a cow give birth, and she couldn't find you, and you were a little bit flustered by the time you got back. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Farming my part-time. Yeah, I was a bit flustered because the calf that I delivered had two heads. So, it was on game day, and I had my dad, who's in the crowd tonight, on a phone call, and he said, anyway, I don't actually need to get into what he said, but yeah, I delivered a two-headed calf, which is probably a bit of a reflection on my breeding program. And what we're doing in my spare time.
She told me that you've changed now when you actually start that breeding program, a little later in the year.
Yeah, purely because I don't want to see any more two-headed calves.
Before any games. And when you played recently in the VFL, she said that you had a bit of trouble with your shorts.
Yeah, I did. And I was a bit disappointed because I wear XXL shorts, and for very good reason. I've got a very big behind.
Booty.
So, yeah, there was only XLs, which is... I have a bit of a gripe with some of my teammates that wear XL. What size do you wear? XL. I know. And anyway... So the VFL, the program didn't have XXL, so yeah, we got some eventually.
Apparently they had to tape up the AFL ones, cover up the AFL logo so you could play in the VFL. But she did say that Party Tom is the best Tom, and while she's very much enjoyed your farewell tour, she's ready for some quiet time.
Yeah, well,
is Party Tom the best Tom?
Party Tom wakes up a bit rough the next day, but look, I think even though things didn't go to plan, it's always great to celebrate the year that was, because there's a lot of hard work put in by a lot of people. So, and I tend to enjoy that this time of year. So, I need to get back in the gym and running around the river, but all in good time. So, I'm looking forward to that next stage.
Okay. And Zach, I spoke to your beautiful wife, Beck, today, and she told me that you like to walk around the house and say that you have a massive brain.
Mm-hmm. That's what I call it, yeah. Yeah, that's my nickname for it.
Apparently the two of you play a lot of trivia and you know a lot of things.
Yep. That's a trivia.
Anyway, I'll get back to the rest of the questions. She said, I said we get back onto Ireland, and apparently you want a statue. And when she asked you what type of statue, you said you want in your town, Port Louise, a statue of you riding a horse. Is this true?
Yeah, that wasn't my... yeah, the idea has been floated, and I get it. I'm not comfortable with it, but if it had to happen, I'd like to be astride my noble steed.
She also says you're a terrible cook, but with tradition, you eat the same pasta all the time, the marry me pasta. Is this true?
Yeah, not particularly superstitious, but yeah, I used to rotate my pre-game meal every year, and then we found one I particularly liked, and it's hung around for a few years. A bit like Beck, actually.
You're very lucky to have her. I want to now hand it over to you, because I'm sure not just your wonderful wives, but there's a lot of people you both would like to thank.
Yeah, there is, and I'm probably going to leave a few out. I think first and foremost, teammates who make going into the football club so enjoyable. I'm certainly going to miss that. A lot of people in the coaching department that have helped me along the way. I will regret singling them out, but James Raleigh, Nigel Lappin, and obviously Scotty for the friendship above anything else that you've provided me in my time in the game. I greatly appreciate. To the administrational staff that I am really going to miss, our corridor conversations. That goes right from Andrew Mackey, Scott Murphy, right through our media department to the medical team, Kingy as well. So I'm going to really miss that. I'll miss playing on the weekends and being supported by a wonderful fan base. But I take solace in the fact that I'm moving from one part of my life to a new part, and that's to be in and around my family. Obviously, I have to work, but to be able to spend more time with, my wife and 3 kids. I'm really looking forward to doing that for the remainder of 2024, and can't thank my wife Emma enough for what she does for me and allowing me to be able to follow my dreams and passions for the last 18 years, and you've been there every step of the way, and I couldn't think of a better person to share the journey with. And we've added people to our family, we've lost people to our family, but you've always been the rock that's been there beside me. So I'm very grateful to have you there. I do have some of my family members occupying some seats and friends to the side here as well. So as you all know how important family is to me, I want to thank you very much for the parts you've all played along the journey in supporting me and providing advice and mainly coaching, a little bit of life advice along the way. But thank you very much. It's been a wonderful journey, but the time's right for me to move on and go on to something new. But I look forward to watching Geelong from a different vantage point from 2025 and beyond. I'm excited in what the footy club has in store for the next little while with the people that are in the building.
Yeah, likewise, there'll be a little bit of overlap. I guess from my point of view, as somebody who's maybe come from somewhere else, the first thanks should go to the people who allowed me to come to the club. Obviously, Wellesley, Huck, you were in that meeting that day in Melbourne, and I'll get to you, Chris, in a minute. I'll save you for later. I'm not sure if this gets outside these 4 walls, but I should acknowledge the fact that it was Carlton who initially took a punt on me when they didn't have to, and I've spent my entire adult life in Australia. Given I've grown up on the other side of the world, I would say that's pretty fortunate, and I certainly haven't forgotten that it was them who gave me that opportunity, so I should acknowledge them here. there's been a lot of people at the club that have had really significant impact on me. Lots of players, lots of coaches, and Nige, I told you to your face what I think a few weeks ago to the players. I won't regurgitate exactly what I said because it made you more uncomfortable than anybody else. But for the reference, outside of my parents, I think that's probably it. I don't think anybody's had a more profound impact on me as a person and a player than Nigel Lappin, and I'm very, very grateful for you for that. I am absolutely going to forget people, so I apologise in advance. Scotty, I do feel slightly awkward with the adulation I've gotten towards the end of my career, and primarily because I did sometimes wonder at different stages of my career whether or not just whether or not I would ever get the opportunity to win a premiership, but I even questioned whether or not if I played for a club that was strong enough to win a premiership, whether or not I would even be good enough to feature for that team. So coming to Geelong, being allowed in was a step in the right direction, but then to be given as much grace as you gave me for 8 years now, like I said, you could have taken the easy way out years ago, but you just refused to. And I know lesser coaches and lesser clubs would have taken the easy way out, but you just refused to give up on your players, and especially your senior players. And I've never taken that for granted, and I hope you know that. So to you, I feel like I probably owe the entirety, certainly of the second half of my career. So thank you for everything, mate. It's been a privilege to be coached by you. And then I'll just finish up with Beck, who's the one that fed the information to Jackie, in case you're wondering who she is. She's my, she's my housemate. She's my wife, yeah. She's a little bit more serious than a housemate. She doesn't pay rent, so she's not a housemate. So it's almost a cliche at this stage to say it's not easy to be the partner of a footy player. I can absolutely tell you that's never been more true than with me. I'm extraordinarily moody, and I know everybody here looks at me and thinks, but Reggie, you're so funny and handsome, and you're probably fantastic in bed, and that's all true, but I am absolutely a nightmare to have to deal with Monday to Friday. I'm a nightmare to deal with Monday to Friday, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm far better at spelling out my feelings, ironically, to a crowd of people than I am giving it to you one-on-one. But for the record, I love you and I appreciate everything you've done. It's been an honour and a privilege to play for the Geelong Footy Club. I'll forever be a Cats person, yeah. Wrap it up.
Thank you both so much. Before I let you go, we've got one final message from some of your biggest fans.
Coach Daddy got win, Daddy. Easy cricket and a medal, Daddy.
Oh, okay.
Naughty Daddy. I can't wait to spend more time with you at home. Congratulations, we can't wait to spend time with you. We love you. And we love going at football with you, Dad. Love you.
Hi, Dad. This is a message from me and Rafferty. We just wanted to let you know that you've worked so hard over the past 14 years. I absolutely love your work. Grandpa, Nana, and Naomi and all of your siblings love you too. Want to know a little secret time? That if to the team Dad's team who's watching this, he sweared only when he was free. He said, "Fuck." Alright, want to say something, Rafferty?
I'm proud of you, Daddy.
So we're all super proud of you. Everyone's proud of you. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your retire. I can't say it properly. Retire. Okay, let's go with retire. It's not the right word, but anyways, we're so all proud of you, and we absolutely love you. And everyone is proud of you, mate. Anyways, bye.
Another round of applause for Tom Hawkins and Zach Tuohy.